Donald Trump. It's hard to imagine anyone unfamiliar with that name, or the unpredictable, often flamboyant personality that accompanies it. Yet, what many might not know about the former U.S. president is the existence of his grand, castle-like retreat, Mar-a-Lago, his famed luxury resort. And that is precisely what we're diving into today. What is day-to-day life really like at Mar-a-Lago? While Trump has called many properties home, ranging from the White House to opulent penthouses and sprawling mansions, one could argue that none are quite as famous or as representative of his penchant for grandeur as this seaside estate and members-only club. The mansion, boasting 128 rooms, is located in Palm Beach, Florida, and spans 20 stunning acres of waterfront property, stretching across the entire width of the island it occupies. Originally built in 1927 by Marjorie Merriweather Post, a wealthy heiress, the estate was purchased by Trump in 1985 for $5 million. A decade later, in 1995, he had revamped it into an exclusive club styled after a European palace. Trump nicknamed the property the Winter White House, a fitting choice as the estate's first owner, Marjorie Merriweather Post, intended it to one day serve as a retreat for U.S. presidents. Due to Donald Trump's penchant for luxury, extensive renovations, and the size of the estate, boasting 58 bedrooms and 33 bathrooms, its current valuation falls between $200 million and $300 million. Shortly after acquiring the property, one of Trump's initial upgrades was the addition of a 200-square-foot ballroom adorned with $7 million worth of gold leaf accents. It was in this opulent setting that he hosted his wedding to Melania, and he has since often humorously referenced high-profile visitors, including political adversary Hillary Clinton. However, Trump's infatuation with gold doesn't stop there. He reportedly spent nearly $100,000 on 4 gold-plated sinks and decorated several rooms with extravagant furnishings such as chandeliers, antique oriental rugs, and 16th-century Flemish tapestries. Among the estate's treasures is a rare 1927 Steinway baby grand piano, valued between $70,000 and $150,000. The grand dining room, inspired by Rome's Chigi Palace, is a masterpiece in itself, complete with a formal dining table befitting the space. To complement the estate's lavish aesthetic, Trump even designed a customized family coat of arms, replacing the Latin term for integrity found on the original emblem of the previous owner's third husband. In addition to personal use, Trump utilized the club for events and gatherings during his presidency. In early February 2017, for instance, he made his inaugural presidential visit there to attend the Red Cross Ball. The following weekend, he welcomed Japan's Prime Minister, Shinzo Abe. "It's a privilege to have you here in Florida with us," he remarked. "We're honored to host you at Mar-a-Lago and in the United States." The resort has also been the venue for hosting other prominent foreign dignitaries, including Chinese President Xi Jinping, who was treated to extravagant dinners and opulent gatherings. "It is a tremendous privilege to host the President of China and his exceptionally gifted wife," he stated. Additionally, it was at Mar-a-Lago that he decided on Lieutenant General H.R. McMaster as his national security advisor. One of the property's perks is its proximity to the Trump International Golf Club in Palm Beach, which can be reached quickly via a short helicopter ride. Trump has ensured that Mar-a-Lago appeals exclusively to the wealthiest patrons to sustain these lavish offerings. He developed a variety of luxurious facilities on the resort's premises, including a spa, a beach club, and tennis and croquet courts, aiming to capture the interest of potential members. Before factoring in taxes or the obligatory $2,000 annual minimum food expenditure expected of each club member, the cost of joining the club was originally $100,000, alongside annual dues of $14,000. After Trump's election as president, the initiation fee was swiftly raised to $200,000, a jump that seemingly proved worthwhile. From that point forward, Mar-a-Lago managed to sustain a consistently strong financial position. In 2014, Trump's earnings from the club totaled approximately $15.6 million. Once he assumed the presidency, his income from the resort climbed to about $25.2 million in 2017, before dipping slightly to $21.4 million in 2019. Membership also offers significant perks to guests, giving them access to lavish pools, beaches, dining spaces, and exclusive lounges. These areas can also be reserved for private occasions, such as weddings or charity galas, with entire spaces like the Grand Ballroom available for rent. According to estimates from the Government Accountability Office, Trump's visits to Mar-a-Lago cost taxpayers at least $13.6 million in 2017. The fortune Donald Trump has generated from Mar-a-Lago can largely be attributed to the exceptional bargain he secured when he bought the property in 1985 for about 1/10 of what it originally cost to construct. Although all of his presidential trips to the estate reportedly amounted to over $60 million, let's pause to explore the fascinating story behind Mar-a-Lago and how it gained its prominence. The estate's original owner, Marjorie Merriweather Post, was once the wealthiest woman in the U.S. At the time of her death, her fortune stood at approximately $200 million, which translates to around $1.5 billion today when adjusted for inflation. Post's immense wealth stemmed from inheriting her father's highly successful post and cereal business following his death in 1914. Shortly after receiving this inheritance, she embarked on building Mar-a-Lago, infusing the property with her vision of grandeur. This included an expansive library, an abundance of artwork, and lavish gold embellishments. By the time construction was complete, her investment had reached close to $7 million, equivalent to over $120 million in today's dollars. In 1973, Post offered the estate to the U.S. government, intending for it to become the president's winter retreat. However, by 1981, the government returned the property, citing excessive maintenance costs of $1 million annually. Instead, it was preserved as a historic landmark. As per reports, Donald Trump had envisioned acquiring the estate for a long time and initially put forward a substantial bid of approximately $28 million. However, the offer was turned down because the property was classified as a historically protected site. Ultimately, fortune was on Trump's side. When the market value dropped, he managed to secure the property for a mere $5 million, or about $12 million in today's terms. He also added Post's extensive collection of furnishings and antiques for an extra $3 million, equivalent to $7.2 million today. Following the purchase, Trump wasted no time beginning renovations, preserving Post's lavish design while adding personal flourishes like a flashy gold-framed photo of himself. Mar-a-Lago has been a coveted destination for years, but without club membership, one can only view it from outside the gates. Given its vast and rich history, the estate is believed to house countless antiques and untapped secrets. A few of these were unveiled by Anthony Senecal, Trump's former butler and the estate's unofficial historian, who revealed that the library is stocked with rare, invaluable first editions and key historical texts, many of which, he noted, none of the Trump family members have ever read. He has also touched on how the Trump family raised its children in a privileged and equally private section of their home. What the Secret Service plans to do on the property, now that Trump is no longer president, remains a tightly held secret. A handful of agents will accompany him to Mar-a-Lago, the estate he has declared his permanent residence, as former U.S. presidents continue to receive lifetime protection. Although specifics about the renovations are off-limits due to security protocols, work seems to be underway to construct a Secret Service-approved area on the property. It's worth noting that during his presidency, Trump charged the Secret Service approximately $650 per room per night at his club, and it is believed that updates to Mar-a-Lago could easily cost upwards of $1 million to enhance security features and make accommodations suitable for the agents. This offers some insight into the potential expenses involved, considering that the property regularly hosts visitors who utilize its many attractions. Ensuring the former president's safety could pose significant challenges. The estate, often likened to a palace, boasts numerous rooms and open spaces that require monitoring to provide adequate security. Mar-a-Lago has gained fame for several reasons, some controversial, but much of this centers around Trump's relentless effort to maintain the resort's exclusive and luxurious reputation. However, his extravagant preferences have occasionally clashed with Palm Beach's local property regulations, resulting in disputes with the county. In 2006, his 80-foot flagpole bearing the American flag was deemed illegal in Palm Beach, leading to a $250 daily fine. In response, Trump filed a $25 million lawsuit, claiming the county's regulations violated his freedom of expression. A compromise was eventually reached. He installed the flag on a 70-foot pole and contributed $100,000 to a veteran charity instead of paying the fine. Almost a decade later, in 2015, Trump took legal action against Palm Beach County once more, accusing it of deliberately diverting air traffic from Palm Beach International Airport to fly directly over Mar-a-Lago. However, this lawsuit was dropped after the 2016 election. While Mar-a-Lago has its share of challenges, the opulent estate nonetheless fascinates Americans with its extravagant decor and equally staggering membership fees. Whether its revenues would increase or decrease following the election remained uncertain. Trump is known for taking an active role in managing the club, often soliciting input from members on what they enjoyed and where the service could improve. It's entirely possible that his reappearance at the club could elevate its amenities to new heights and attract more guests intrigued by the idea of becoming members of a club owned by a past U.S. president who also happens to call it home. Undeniably, Trump secured a fantastic deal on this iconic property, and it's likely that countless secrets and invaluable treasures lie concealed within its walls, beyond what we might ever uncover. Without a doubt, there are plenty of compelling reasons to consider joining the Mar-a-Lago Club. What's yours? If this caught your interest, don't hesitate. Go ahead and click one of the videos currently displayed on your screen.